Okay. We got it going. We're going to see Jill and Joe's reaction of Trump. This is an old one. Trump Pence, see? That's going to be hopefully the video. Tell me if you can hear it. You can see it?
Yes.
All right. So I had to edit it because RSBN, for whatever reason, went extremely low in volume, and it's still low. And I put it up as high as I could, like 100%. But let's see what you think. I made myself a cocktail. That's how I feel.
Pulling into the jail, you've got the barbed wire, you've got the police. It obviously feels like some type of incarceration facility. It just felt a little different today than it has in the past, and I want to get his thoughts when he comes out exactly what it was like. And he wasn't in long. I mean, he was about 17 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes inside the processed. He had a scheduled
minutes.
Yeah, that's
departure here in about 25 minutes or so, so they're probably a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, we're about to exit the vehicle. Let's let this play out. We are live here at the Atlanta airport with President Trump on this very historic day.
That's going to get louder. Hopefully not. I cut it.
Really believe this is a very sad day for America. This has never happened. If you challenge an election, we should be able to challenge an election. Because the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you're going to have a very dishonest election. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows that. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. This is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right to challenge an election that we think is dishonest. And we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
He does look pissed off, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's a
he
pissed
does.
off New Yorker, and I said it before. Don't piss off a New Yorker.
Well, he has every right.
I hope that dude is so fucking pissed off. I hope he wants revenge of the ultimate kind.
I think he already got it. Pretty sure he already got it. It's just
pisses me off.
These people that are nabbing at him are like the absolute bottom of the pyramid. This would be the same as, like, this word has come up recently, cult. Right. It would be the same as like a cult, like going after him.
Mm-hmm.
Just the
or if they're just trying to save their ass because they know they're next.
Yeah.
Right. Well, either that or they're just totally sleeping.
We gotta make him look bad before he comes to get us.
They could be in the deep state paid version of the deep state, or they could be awake enough to know, involved with sex trafficking and stuff. I mean, there's a big difference. People are arrested. They're going to be, that's why people are like talking about his picture and how he's going to be, and should he be arrested? Should he be in jail? Should he? And I'm like, I understand it's important to exaggerate what's going on, but this is not a joke.
No.
My husband did not arrest and did not risk his life to arrest criminals. New York cops, according to my husband, are probably 85% Republican. No joke. They are like, and probably that goes with the fire department, maybe a little lower,
Hmm.
like 75, 80, you know? They're all Republican. So it's the little guys that have to be left. Like in Georgia, like who are these freaks in Georgia?
Right.
Really?
Exactly
like-
what they are. Freaks.
Little pussies, retro 60s things that popped up. I could pop up too. That's what they are. They're like a flashback of a time nobody fucking wants to think of anymore. We have been in peace mode since the 70s, 80s, at least with when it comes to races, which there is no such thing. There's one race. What's that one race, guys?
Human race.
The human race.
Oh.
The race of life.
Unless, of course, there are alien races out there, which I
believe in
totally-
that. So
I do too. Absolutely would be selfish.
Yeah.
We'd be narcissistically selfish to believe that we're alone in such a vast universe. And for people
Yes.
that don't believe in space, well, we may not have gone to the moon, but there's something out there. There's just no way. No, we're not the only things.
No.
I mean, just look up. There's as many stars in the sky as there are sand on the beach. Dad used to say that. Must have been from a
Probably
poem.
more.
Probably. We have a lot of beach.
And those stars that you see up there are actually universes that have many, many, many more stars.
Yep, that's
What they
right. A
say.
lot of them are.
So the Milky Way looks like a star to
Hmm.
another star.
Right.
I
What
was
gets
actually-
me about President Trump's arrest is that the judges are allowing it to happen.
Well, because they're the lower pyramid too. That's
Hey,
why
I-
he put 300 judges in and the Supreme Justices. He tried his best. What?
Did Trump get immunity?
Oh,
No.
Because I read somewhere. I
from what?
Oh, well, Trump can pardon himself.
When he becomes
He can
president?
still run for president. He's going to be tried now because he was
right.
arrested. Okay.
I read something that he had immunity, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
He will. He
does.
So constitutionalists believe that presidents should have immunity.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, let's not believe that narrative, and I'll explain why. Okay.
Because they're fucking stupid. Sorry.
Well, lawyers tend to be kind of smart, but they can be devious because they lie for a living, right? So
Right.
what we
And
don't
stupid.
want is to have lawyers not be able to arrest Biden for treason. So it's a catch
Not
22.
arrest what?
Biden for treason.
Okay.
So it's a catch 22. Do you understand?
Yep.
Get it? Okay. Yeah, I was always interested in politics since Reagan was in office and I was very young. And I remember seeing Trump around, hearing about him often in New York.
Right.
He would probably have seen him on Oprah or whatever. But I think it was Barbara Walters. It might have been Barbara Walters. I might be mistaken because she's not really in view as much. But somebody asked Trump when he's like in his probably mid-20s, I probably wasn't even born yet, if he would consider being president.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people did, but at that point, one of the interviews, he says, if I had to. And he had to.
Right. He did.
He had to. He had to go to jail. He had to be arrested. he did so much for New York. I mean, he was always doing, even when I read heavy metal magazines, I remember him being in Rolling Stones and he was on,
Right.
God knows, I doubt he would lower himself to be on the mayor's show, Springer. Sorry, Jerry. Not our Jerry. Jerry. But, you know, and then I remember thinking, as I got older, he would be great. He's a businessman. He would be a great president. So I was like 15, 16, and then Perot comes up.
Right.
And that's when I decided to totally be an independent. And he was supposedly a brilliant, I didn't understand economics at the time, but
Right.
billionaire that I understood. Perot came along and I was like, let me stay an independent, see what happens. So once Trump started with the birther, I was like, oh, I hope he runs. And that was like, what, years and years, 2007 or 8, before even Obama might have been in, he started, I don't know. And then they blamed it on Hillary. Well, Hillary probably wanted it out first. So it seemed like a Democrat was letting it out. Although, because Trump, he was Democrat all his life, 2 years an independent, and then he turned Republican just so we would vote for him. He had no choice.
Right.
He believes in more Republican values, but he's definitely independent in a lot of, he's open. He's open to people, open to suggestions, which is excellent. You never say no to anybody. Then, of course, 9/11, he helped out. I think it was 125 people he hired to help clean New York.
Wow.
God knows if he donated. He probably did for all sorts of causes. I know his donation book is past 300 pages by now. Full
Oh,
pages
yeah,
of like
easy.
anywhere between 50 and 100 organizations, Black, Jewish, you name it, whatever I mean, he's donated. He's helped people on the street.
Oh,
And
I know.
people have helped him. Remember what he did for Jennifer Hudson? Was that her name? Yeah, Jennifer Hudson. Her whole family died in the plane crash, and he let her
What did
stay.
he do?
He let her stay in
Oh, in a
Trump-
hotel.
in
Trump
his hotel.
Towers, right?
Yeah, for whatever amount of time she wanted. That was an awful thing.
Yeah, man.
It's funny. My aunt has met Trump. I mean, my first casino was Trump's casino.
Oh, gosh.
21. Actually, I got in there at 20, but I didn't really stay or gamble, but I went back at 21 with mom. Then my aunt was telling me stories that Trump would, if he ever sees this, he'll know exactly. He'll remember my aunt was the host at Peter Luger's, his favorite steakhouse.
Oh,
My Aunt Mirka. It's a Polish name. I am Ukrainian, but she's married to my uncle. Well, she's my aunt, right? Anyhow, she would say things like he'd come in with very skinny models and he would eat the steaks and they would normally get a salad, like kidding around. And I'm trying to remember, I'm like, Melania and Trump must be together since before 2000. I'm going to say late 90s when he left, with Marla Maples.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was about 99. Yes, because I remember it was around the time Junior died,
Oh,
ironically. And he had been dating Melania that long, since she was in her
oh,
late
wow.
20s. Yeah. Oh, yes. So I don't know if I knew that at the time, but thinking back to it, it was probably always Melania, because I think my aunt only lived, well, she lived there her whole life, but only worked there for like 4 years, 5, maybe 6 tops. So how many times did she see Trump? 2,
Right.
3, maybe 3. He really does love that steakhouse, and it's right over the bridge because it's Dumbo. It's the very fashionable, expensive, rich, artistic, really artistic actually, part of Brooklyn. And then It's right where the Brooklyn Bridge is going into Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
So it's like right over the bridge. Not that that beats Manhattan traffic, but yeah. So he would probably make a couple of stops there, but I'm like thinking to myself, it must have always been Melania. You know,
Yeah.
since 98. So what was I in 98? I was already about 19, 18. I don't even know how old I am anymore. No idea. Because I'm going to be 47 when Trump is the 47th president. Ridiculously, I'm a 1976 bicentennial baby. I think numbers matter. 17 minutes. He was in there 17 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird. What a number to pick.
Boy, Trump, I hope you know. I hope you know I know. The Trumps. The whole family. Nancy asked why the Republicans aren't fighting back. Joe, where'd you go, Joe?
Go where?
Joe's doing something nasty. What are you watching, Joe? Did you get your computer? You're watching some porn? Joe's like an older brother to me. So why aren't the Republicans fighting back? Anybody? Anybody?
I'd like to know why. I
Mm.
Because
don't.
they're part of the swamp.
Yeah.
Well, that's partially true. They also may have been ordered not to.
Oh.
Ever think of that? It's kind of all wraps up into one. Plus, we follow the law. There are certain standards of law that we must still follow, the constitutional law, and he will not break that. That's the only reason he probably fathomed this indictment again. Was his fourth one yet? And Giuliani, poor Giuliani.
Terrible.
What a soldier Giuliani is. What a
Yeah,
soldier.
I like him.
I was okay with Giuliani because I didn't like Bloomberg. Sorry.
Oh,
And he was a businessman.
Oh.
I just didn't like him. Just some people just, you get that gut feeling. But Giuliani, I respected. And
I
later
liked
on, my husband said he did a lot for the cops, which I knew kind of about. I mean, because he cleaned up New York.
right.
He cleaned up Times Square like you wouldn't believe. And
Now look at it.
well, yeah,
It's fucked up again.
because you got a Republican people
Hmm.
being forced Democratic rules. I shouldn't say democratic rules, socialistic, communistic, Marxism. Is there Leninism? Leninism,
Yeah, Leninism.
Stalinism, Hitlerism, whatever isms you want to name it is on the negative side.
Right.
And then, of course, you have Georgia, poor Georgia, paying for this. They're literally paying for this to happen.
Right.
To have someone of Trump's status get arrested. The security, I think they said it somewhere on RSBN how much security there was. It was like, you could see it through
Right.
telescope
sure.
how long the security was.
Right. I'm sure it was like that.
And who paid for his gas and stuff? Does he have to pay for it? I suppose.
Yeah, really. Probably.
I don't know. He gets a pension from us, right?
Does he use it?
I don't know, but he could use part of it. We'll pay for it. We
Who?
will pay for Trump.
Trump.
We're angry, listless, cultivated, deplorable vessels.
I'm
Yeah,
confused
right.
about what just happened today.
I'm not confused at all. He had to do it. He
Yeah,
had
I
to do
think
it to prove
so.
a point, and
It's just,
boy, does he look pissed off in that picture of his.
yeah, he does.
Dude, bad call. See, I said something was going to happen in August.
I can't believe he was
I
arrested.
was hoping it wasn't this, but this has to be the end of it because the awakening took place over 2 weeks ago. 2, 3, maybe 3.5 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
But there's only still like, there's probably about 9% of the world's awake by now because it doesn't take long. I mean, look at how many people watched
right.
Trump and Tucker,
Tucker.
who is pretty much into the conspiracies, who is probably knows a lot more than he's letting on compared to like the
Yeah.
Fox debate. Well, Fox had all these rules apparently. You couldn't record it.
How stupid.
Yeah. So
I mean, why?
they let, well, I think there's a few reasons. First of all, it helps us. I don't care any way that you want to look at it. It helps us that debate couldn't go viral.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Trump did. Right? The day before he was arrested.
Right.
Then we compare the numbers, which I've been looking most of the day. I haven't seen any numbers come out on how many views were on Fox debate that night.
Uh-huh.
last night. But you got to think that it's almost up to 300 million or 250, 60 million by now that watched Tucker. and
Right.
Trump.
And there are people from all over the world. They're not just in the United States.
Yeah, I know. I love how people are like, well, that's half of America. And I'm like, no, that's half of the world that have, capability of watching,
Right.
which might be about, I don't know, 90% of the world, 80%. Well, I gotta look into that. How in this time can nobody have I can understand the older generation, they don't want it. But how can a civilization, like, say in Africa somewhere, not have phones, not have water access? What the fuck am I talking about? Like, really?
Yeah, the basic needs.
I think the hardest thing for people to believe is that this time in life, it's a miracle.
Mm.
You want to call it luck, happenstance, that you're here at this most brilliant time in history, because
Right.
everything is going to change.
Yeah.
Everything will change.
Yeah.
He's afraid. He's very afraid.
Trump's going to get out of this little mess. This is nothing.
Uh,
But his comeback is going to be a bitch.
good.
We're going to see fire now. That's really what I think.
I hope so, man. Yeah.
Fire and brimstone.
Fire. That's it.
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
I don't know brimstone. Sorry.
Well, this is stone.
Brimstone, brim of a hat. I don't know.
Fire.
That's boy. Fire is up, and then I was doing blaze.
Right.
The military action has calmed down completely. in the last-
Really?
Yeah, about a week and a half now. My whole
Wonder
life I
why.
paid attention to the sounds of the military. My whole life. I was literally brought up a mile away from the fort.
Right.
And I didn't say hello to him, but I was like, a few feet away from Al Sharpton.
Ew. Another creep.
Yeah, it was about like 4 or 5 feet away from Al Sharpton while they were changing the General Lee sign, like the street sign to I don't even remember.
Martin Luther King Highway.
Probably something like that. It
Mhm.
wasn't a highway. This was in front of the fort. I went
Oh,
to see
oh,
it.
okay.
No, it's like a mile from my house. And I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, really.
He didn't have much of a big crowd, but
Oh, he's such a creep.
I wonder what made me go down there because I wanted to see it. I'm like, why are they doing this? Who the fuck
Right.
cares? Why are you spending my? I couldn't have been in my teens. Seriously, high school kids, something like that. And these are the questions. So if somebody of my lower intelligence can think this way at like as a teenager, where the fuck is everybody else's brains?
They're not engaged.
Joe, thanks for joining us this evening.
I'm here.
I know, but you haven't said anything. Trump's great. Yeah, Sabbath. Sabbath.
Oh my gosh.
You ever, oh God, you guys never been to Long Island. Oh my God. I don't know how. Oh, okay, let's put it this way. Twisted Sister lives in Long Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're bikers and stuff. Yeah, I've seen Dee Schneider like ride past in New York, but that's it. I've seen a lot of actors and stuff. I just don't. I never bothered them because I never fucking cared. Now, if it was
No,
Patrick
right.
Stewart, I may have bothered Patrick Stewart. But I remember my friends asking, "Why aren't you going to go over to?" Oh, what was his name? Was he Australian? No, I think he's British. He played in the new Star Wars.
Oh, Ian McGregor?
Liam Neeson.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Liam
yeah.
Neeson. I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Scottish, or I think.
Irish.
Oh, is he Irish?
Northern Irish actor.
Oh, okay. So he's from Northern Ireland, which is British ruled.
There's a new movie out called Retribution.
And who's in it? Him?
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, he's.
Was Liam Neeson in Star Wars?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Thank you. So anyhow, Liam Neeson, yeah, he was in Bay Ridge for one of the producers came to our bar, the Full Moon Saloon, and we had like real wolves hanging up.
Oh,
Sad to say, but we did. And sorry, Cricket.
uh-huh.
What is it? Choreographer? No, not choreographer.
Cinematographer.
Whatever. They pick the places where they're going to shoot the film. Might be.
Right.
They came in and asked me a few questions, and everything was a yes as far as I remember. But so Liam Neeson was around for a little while, and because they picked another bar, a nice,
Oh.
a nice big bar, but in Bay Ridge, and I was like, I don't care. Why am I going to bother him? He's eating. Same with
Right.
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was sitting in the bar. He bought everybody drinks. Not my bar, across the street from me. I've worked in that bar, Kelly's, but because he was doing a movie right there, like I was, watching it most of the time, and he bought the whole rounds. He bought a round for everybody.
Oh, I just
And-
hate what happened to him.
I know. He left Corinne $100 tip,
Wow.
and he only had 2 Heinekens. So if you ever want to know what Bruce Willis drank, it was Heineken.
That's funny.
Well, that's a very, I drink Heineken. I love Heineken. Heineken. Corona.
Yeah, I like it too.
But now I'm down to Miller Lite because it just has no carbs. Low carbs.
Right. What are you drinking now?
Baileys.
That's what I figured.
Salted caramel Baileys. Well, it doesn't take much. to
I'm
be
gonna
buzzed
see if
anymore.
I can find a beer. There might be one in the fridge.
Go searching. I'm gonna pause this. Actually, I'm gonna stop the recording.